Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Happiness Yoga live stream. We will continue to live stream more classes. We're also looking at a Zoom model because it is the conversation before class that is so important to us. So there is so much stuff coming. Keep watching. For now, we'll live stream. We'll online book as well. We'll reopen that as soon as we let everyone know there's just no classes at the studio. And I'll let you know when I'm going to be out and about because I'll be live streaming from our beautiful environment here in Bargara. So you might be able to, if we let you know, see us out in the park even though we won't have official classes. So there is some nice noise in the background, but that's okay. We will figure it all out. Come onto your mats and let's begin our practice this morning. So coming down, ladies, we're going to start in a child's pose. Bring the knees underneath. And then begin to stretch the hands out nice and long. The head drop down. And work the breath into the back of the lungs. Take a deep, expansive breath as you broaden the shoulder blades in the back. As you exhale, let the tail sink down and get heavy. 4 more. Each breath, notice the smells and sounds around you. Each exhale, feel the mat beneath your hands. Next inhale, we'll come up onto fingertips. We're going to walk the hands over towards the right. So we'll walk and we'll expand into the side waist of the left side body. Let the head draw down to the floor as you spread the palms. Get your thighs to massage deep into the belly. Big abdominal squeeze to wake up that digestive system. Let's get you ready for a fabulous day. Spreading out the ribs on the left side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Three more breaths here. In and out. As we come onto fingertips, we're walking all the way back to center. We're coming over into that second side. We're extending the hand out to the right. We're dropping the hips down and we're sinking. Breath by breath. Nice and slow. We begin to open up the rib cage. With the intercostal muscles slowly stretching. To create that space in the side body for our vinyasa flow. And then as we inhale, we'll come back to center and we'll set up onto all fours. We'll take a few cat-cows. I'm just going to move my mat back. So some rippling motions through the spine. Round and curl. Let the belly melt, slide the shoulder blades down back with the heart. Exhale, curl and round, chin tuck. Inhale, belly melts, spine bends. 2 more, round and curl. The belly drop down, look forward. And exhale and round and curl. Inhale, come back. We'll pop right knee underneath right hip, extend left leg back, and then activate using the muscles of the back to pick up that back foot. Press the foot out, find your belly, draw it in, pull the shoulder blades down the back to stabilize. At your inhale, reach your right hand up, find your bird dog or your sunbird, and just pause as you find focus and breath in this moment. Create length and extension through the back body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll create a gate. We'll drop the right hand down, put the left foot down, and then press the heel out. As you inhale, open up across the back body, stack the shoulder blades as you elongate the head. Reach and extend through the crown. You're going to roll it and come down into a threading the needle. So the left hand comes down, left knee to the floor, and then we turn and we twist. As we move the thoracic spine, bring left ear to the floor and roll over into the left shoulder blade. The right hand lift up. Bring it onto the back if you feel comfortable and balanced here. You can roll the right shoulder onto the back and then just breathe. Feeling the chest begin to warm as you walk the breath down deeper into the lobes of the lungs. And we'll inhale, lift the right hand up, place it down, and we'll come up. Let's set up for that second side. So the right leg is going to stretch back. You might want to take it down for a moment just so you can draw that core in. Pull the shoulder blades down the back and then press out through the heels. Get the toes directed to the floor. Try and go straight to the back of the knee if that's available. To bring us into focus, let the drishti or the gaze find a spot to rest. Spread the fingers of the right palm like your fingertips are connecting into the earth. Extend everything out. And of course, don't forget to breathe. Reach. Move it into a gate pose. We'll bring the left hand down, drop right toes, drop the heel, and as you inhale, lift the right hand up. We're going to stack. Stack the shoulder blades, stack the shoulders, elongate the crown, press the heel to the earth, feel the blade edge of the foot, and let the fingertips rise as the breath reaches into right lung. Beautiful. Notice and follow the flow of the breath. Let it ground you. In a moment we'll transition into that threading the needle pose. We'll drop the right knee down. We'll thread the right hand underneath. Curl and twist. This might be enough for you. You might want to bring that left hand up. Up and over, rolling the shoulder onto the back, working the breath down into the belly, creating length of a tail, elongating that spine. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Those beautiful birds just warming us into this glorious day. Next inhale lifts the left hand. Let's bring it back down to the floor. Press up, find all fours, and take those cat-cows as we ripple the spine a few times. It always feels nice as we wake up to just circle out the hips and the head. And you move them in different directions, swirl around. Feel everything loosen, go the other way, shake it out. Breath really begins to pump in now. And a few little motions like a shark swimming, curl and round. And the side body becoming limber and loose. Take one more little stretch out for the legs before we come into our first down dog. So create that expansive reach through the fingertips, sun hands. Right hand comes out. This time right leg lifts all the way over towards the left. We'll pop the toes down. And then as you look over your left shoulder, how much space can you create between right ankle and right shoulder, right ear? Breathe and balance. Lift it up. Right leg's going out to the right for a gate pose. Right leg comes out to the right, lands on the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Let's warm up those legs. And then we'll bring left hand down to the floor. Right hand up and over the head. So it's that little variation that creates that lengthening in the side body. And then maybe you want to press those hips forward and bring a quality of back bend in. Little bend in the right elbow. Turn your chest up and look at the sky. As the breath rises and lifts the sternum, and the chest is just open with the heart to the heavens. Beautiful. Come all the way back to center. Right hand comes down, bring the foot in, step back up. Second side. So we'll bring the left leg up and back and stretch it over. And then we'll look over right shoulder. Create as much space. Left heel, left ear. Begin to draw apart as we stretch and lengthen the muscles between each of the ribs. The breath comes in. As the breath moves out, can you twist a little further? Inhale, lift that leg up, bring it all the way out to the side, plant it down on the floor, and then come up into a gate pose. So inhale, lift up, beautiful work. Let's drop it down slowly using the obliques as we bring right hand to the floor, left hand comes out, and then we're going to press the hips forward, wake up those hip flexors, create that openness across the heart, actively press the earth away so you're working that right arm and bringing that little bit of compression all the way from the wrist to the shoulder. And then to open the chest, little bend in the elbow. If there's any pulling on the shoulder or the chest, I just want you to soften, bring the arm in, it'll be less intense. And we turn and rotate, we look up, and we see that beautiful morning happening just above. And the great thing is you can always take your phone outside and practice with us if you'd like to go outdoors. It's going to be such a beautiful opportunity to embrace the backyard in the coming days. And then we'll extend everything out. We're going to lift back up. Whoa. Beautiful. Coming down, let's take a little back bend. Hands behind, press the hips forward and come into a camel pose. So think of lifting up. Create that spaciousness as we lift up and out of the waist. Bring the shoulder blades together, press the hips forward. So much of our back bend coming from that movement of the hip flexors, that openness of the chest and that broadness of the shoulders. It's such a beautiful opportunity to see blue skies. I'm going to use the core to lift us up, not the back. I'm going to plant the hands down. We're going to downward facing dog. The hands go nice and wide. We'll step back, high plank pose. Find that length. And then lift the hips up and back. I'm going to do this one backwards just to show you the little variation through the legs. Find the feet at least hip distance apart. Press the fingertips down and elongate that spine. Let the chin come in, pedal the feet. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Beautiful. And then both heels towards the floor. Lift up, shoulder blades onto the back. So we're going to lift right leg all the way up to the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the toes and we're going to wrap them behind the back of the left calf near that left ankle. And then we're going to use it to press the left heel down towards the floor. So you get a lovely stretch in the left leg. Now energize into those hands and notice if you're dumping forward. Lift the sit bones up. Use the core. Next inhale, right leg is going to lift high all the way up to the sky. And then you're going to plant right foot down. We'll do the second side. Inhale, left leg up. Reach it towards the sky. Find a moment, breath. Press out. And then tuck the toes behind. Bring them near the ankle. Press the heel down. Press the floor away. And then use it to almost draw that ankle closer to the floor so you feel the length into the calf. Beautiful. Everyone loves it when a yoga instructor says downward facing dog is a resting pose. Alright, from here we'll plant the feet. We'll take them a little bit wider. We're going to walk the hands back and come into a wide-legged squat. And just turn around. So walk the hands back in. And then bring the hands onto the legs and press up. But we're wider than hip distance here. We're going to take some cat-cows this way. As you inhale, pull the shoulder blades back, pull the heart forward. As you exhale, ripple them round, tuck the chin and curl. As you inhale, heart moves forward. Beautiful. As you exhale, curl and round. As you inhale, bring it forward. Lift up. As you exhale, cascade the body forward, lift up the back of the legs, hands to the floor, hands and feet go wider. Let's sit up to Pasarita Padottanasana. Little bend in the knees, like an ocean wave, blowing you across the mat. And we sway and dance with the rhythm of the breath. Beautiful. You can get loosey-goosey here. Feels so nice into those hip joints. And then we'll prepare to twist. Beautiful. Left hand under the nose. Inhale, right hand comes up. We turn through the ribs. Right hand extends, shoulder blades stacked. Plant the heels down. You can turn the heels out slightly and pigeon toe the toes in. It'll take less tension into the knee joint. Reach for the sky. And then engage the core. How long can you go through the spine? Shoulders onto the back. As we exhale, right hand comes all the way down to the floor. And we'll just swap the hands over. Inhale, left hand comes up. And press. Draw yourself away from the earth. We create the energy in our muscles as we find that sense of expansion and extension. Keep the heels planted down. Feel the blade edge of the feet lift up to those arches. And it's like you're trying to pull your mat in half as you're trying to rip it open almost to keep the legs engaged. Beautiful. Hand comes back down. And then we'll come into a forward fold. So you can flip the palms around for this one as you bend the elbows to bring the ears between the ankles. The hands just walk you in. Drop the weight into the toes. Reach the crown to the floor. If you tuck the chin, you'll get that nice length in your neck here. Big breath in. Weight into the toes. Big breath out. And then we'll walk the hands forward. And we're going to set up for warrior pose. So the legs are in just the right spot. Make sure the right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Turn the left toes out. As you inhale, we're going to bring the shoulders and the hips into a line. We're going to open out across the legs. Take a quick little look down for left knee. Make sure it's not knocking in or out or coming over the top of that left ankle. And then as you inhale, engage your glutes as you reach up. Beautiful. Find the length through the fingertips, but drop the shoulders down. There's no need to get uptight through those shoulders. We're going to work with breath here. On the inhale, the hands and the heel will rise. So we'll reach the hands up and you'll feel, hello, your left thigh as you lift your heel up. As you exhale, plant it down like you're stamping onto the floor. Inhale, breath rises as we float up. And exhale, drop it down. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Beautiful work. Flip the front palm and we'll reach the right hand back, up and over towards the back of the mat. That's the left hand. Take a deeper bend into that left knee. Don't want to get lazy, don't let it. As we inhale, we'll rise all the way back up. And we'll turn the toes in. Second side. So get that foot planted 90 degrees. Turn the right toes out. And then be conscious. Use the muscles in the front of the right thigh to lift and lengthen through that right leg. Reach out through fingertips. Drop shoulders from ears. Balance your arms. As you inhale, hands and heel rises off the floor. Beautiful. As you exhale, slowly land to earth. Feel the breath move you through. Should be like a dance. Each inhale, that sense of rising, heel and hands float. Each exhale, that sense of grounding as you drop down. One more. Inhale, float. And exhale, drop and descend. Beautiful work. And then we'll flip right palm. Left hand comes down. And we'll come into that revered warrior. Notice that that right leg will want to get lazy. Don't let it. Yeah, you can see its tendency. We're going to keep that connection through right big toe. It'll help ground the foot. Inhale will come all the way back up. Beautiful. And then no one's favorite pose, goddess pose. Bring the toes in, although you can let me know if it is your favorite pose. Heel and heel come in as we open up the expanse of the hips. Now we're going to sink it deep. You might want to do like a little sway here just to get my hips to like me again. Loosen that up. And then hands onto the hips. Imagine that the pelvis is like a bowl and you're going to slosh water around. So slosh the water forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Beautiful work. Hands are going to slide down the legs. You're going to sink deep into those heels, and we'll take little twists here. So we'll drop right elbow. Nope, that's left elbow. Look towards right shoulder. Get deep. Use the palm. Press the leg away. Use your inhale, come up. Let's do the other side. Drop right elbow. Lengthen out. Press right knee away. Sink deep into those heels. Keep the connection in the toes. Inhale. 2 more times each side. Move over to the right shoulder. Lift up. And over to the left. Work the breath into the movement. Inhale, lift. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Come all the way back to center. We're going to grow with strength. So that rising up, come up, heel toe those feet in, come onto your mat. Let's set up for a twisted chair pose. So we're going to plant left foot. So we're coming into funky chair first. Quick right leg up. Just use the transverse abdomen maybe a few times. Just do a little motion. Just feel, hello, my belly, waking up. There we go. And as we lift it up, we're going to bend that left knee. Place it at a 90-degree angle. Hands are going to come to heart. And you're going to sink. Whoa, press way back through that heel. And then lift the heart. So the thumbs remind the sternum to stay light. Sink it, and try to look less serious. And then we're going to take right elbow and we're going to twist and turn the body. Bring the elbow to that little curve of the foot and let the heart lift up. Beautiful. Twist and turn. We're going to draw the hip away. Balance on the foot. If you're thinking of going extra juicy today, you can bring the hands down towards the floor. Ooh, that is an extra, yeah. I know you can feel it. Knee out. As we inhale, we come all the way back up and we're going to rise. Rise up. We'll plant the foot down to the floor and we'll take the second side, draw the toes into the earth. Use your core, lift up. Open the foot out to the side, drop the heel down and then sink. Sink. Hands come to heart, and there's that lifting of the chin. We'll bring it parallel to the earth. We'll find that little lift through the crown, that puppeteer string, just reminding the spine to be long. Engage the core. So feel that little drawing of the shoulder blades down the back. You'll link through the back muscles. And then we'll twist and turn here. So we'll bring the elbow, and one side usually is a little bit more challenging than the other. So we tend to unconsciously rest the weight. Oop, here we go. Now I'm talking. So if you look around while you're doing this, you might fall over. Unconsciously rest the weight in one leg most of the time. So one leg is generally stronger than the other. Just observe. It's okay. Now you know. You're going to breathe. Go a little deeper. An extra juicy option. Brownie points if you're bringing those fingertips towards the floor. Whoa, can you reach down? Press those hips back. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. 5, 4. You can make whatever faces that you want if you're at home or in your backyard. 2, 1. Bring the hands and slowly come all the way up. All the way up. Drop the hands down. Let's take a little back bend because you're probably feeling that in your spine. Yeah. Hands come to the back. We're going to press the hips forward, and that same sensation of like you're wearing jeans that are too tight and then you're lifting yourself up out of those jeans. So draw the heart up, create that space, press the hips forward. You're either a back bender or a forward folder. So if this is not your style, you're probably a forward folder. Lift, press hips. You can bend into the knees a little bit if you want to. And as you inhale, rise all the way up, and we're coming down, hinging at the hips. Let the hands trickle down to the floor. Come up onto cupcake fingers, just bend one leg and then the other without rising the heels. Let the crown come down. And shake out those legs. They're probably feeling that last exercise. Time to come down onto the belly. So we can walk the hands forward we'll step out into that high plank pose. And we're going to hold this for 5 breaths because it's so good for strength. And you don't want a mirror here. I miss the mirrors in the studio to find the length in the spine. So if you've got a mirror and you're setting up your home studio space, and don't worry, we'll give you lots of advice about how to do that in the coming days. So many amazing new things coming. The crown of a tail draw away, shoulder blades onto the back, press the fingers into the floor. Okay. Extra bonus points. Elbows come down, try a forearm plank. So elbows underneath shoulders, keep the index fingers an extension of that shoulder joint. Reach and engage the glutes as you draw them away from the shoulders, and then press the thighs away from the floor. So you can feel that this pose is fabulous for toning both the upper and the lower body. In fact, this is pretty much a whole body guy. Now the great thing is if you want to drop your knees, you're allowed to, because yoga's choose your own adventure. So we'll drop the knees, come back, walk it into a child. You can grab a little drink if you want to. And down. Let your strength return as you reach for breath. Let it be a balm. Just loosen the brow. Important to have those little breaks in your practice. As you inhale, we'll move it forward. We're going to come back into that forearm plank, and we're going to turn it into our variation of Vashisthasana, side plank. So we're going to take those legs out, press the floor away, feel the strength, you are stronger than you think. Drop both your heels over towards the left. Now you might want to bring that right foot halfway up the mat. It's going to help you lift the hips away from the floor, and the right hand rises. Now create space as you draw up, right hip away, lift up. Elongate. 3, you got this. 2, 1, sink the hips down to the floor. Lift up, it's like you're going to reach in front of your leg and come all the way around and try and grab your toes. So you can pop that back hand in and reach out for the toes. Beautiful. And you look, you can even drop the shoulder down. That'll get you nice and deep. Put my drink foot up. Reach and press the foot away. 3, 2, 1. Hand comes in, and let's step it all the way back. We'll come into a downward facing dog. It's that resting pose that you're going to laugh at me about when I say that. It's energizing flow, everybody. Let's pump those feet, get that energy going. Press those fingers and spread them wide, and engage the muscles of the back in case they're getting slack. I'll just turn it around for a second side. So from downward facing dog, we just roll the spine, like a cat pose, roll, 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 until we're in that high plank Phalakasana. And I'm going to come down to forearm plank and bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Woo, keep lifting those thighs, turn the glutes on, and try not to get too bunched up through the back of the neck, which is where we tend to scrunch because we're not loving this pose, unless you are, which is great. Drop both your heels over to the right. We're going to step that left foot forward this time and use it to help us lift the hips. Hand comes up. And then, again, feeling of extension, expansion of energy. Press the hips away from the floor. Reach out through the crown. Notice what the chin is doing. It's gone into a strange angle. And then breathe. Breath is so important in these moments. As the foot draws down, we lift the hips up. 3, 2, 1. Then the hand comes down to the floor, and we'll bring the hands in as we step it back, downward facing dog. Little pedal, pedal, pedal it out. So we haven't done a lot of back bending, but that's okay. We're going to work on that now. I'm just going to shift it around. Maybe you think we've done plenty of back bending. Drop the knees down to the floor, and then lower the hips down. We're going to come up for some striking cobras. So the fingertips come out nice and wide, little cupcake fingers, like you don't want to squish the icing under your palm as the elbows reach for the sky. And as you inhale, you come up, and you think we missed one of the poses, and that's okay because we're coming back to that. Lift up. I'm just keeping on your toes this morning. Come down. Roll, roll, roll. Inhale. Begin to draw up. Shoulder blades down the back. Let the chin rise up. And as you exhale, melt the belly. Inhale, come up. Stay up on this one. If you can, feel how much that strengthens the back, and connect those toes to the floor. It's that sensation of the legs wanting to rise. It's okay, we'll work with the legs in a moment. And then we'll drop it down. Hands come into crocodile pose. Take your elbows nice and wide, let your head rest, and you're going to turn on your glutes, squeeze your bottom together. Give it a nice big wake up call this morning, like you're trying to crush a macadamia nut. And then we're going to float the toes off the floor and reach them out for the opposite corners of the mat. So if you're on the floor here and it's a little bit hard, I'm sorry. You're going to take some little circles through the toes. Just a variation of our back locust pose. We're strengthening the body like we would in half locust for 26 and 2. And then we'll go the other way. Just feel those back muscles warm up. Really good work for them. And we're just going to beat the heels in, and then open them out. Just a few times. Just creating that space in the back. Sometimes we have to warm the muscles, and then they'll release more easily. All right, come all the way down. We have to do forearm plank one more time because I forgot to pose. But that's okay because we're going to get stronger cores. So from the floor, we're going to lift all the way up. Lift up. And then we're going to step that left foot in, turn it out, come back up, that forearm plank. And now we get to drop the hips down, walk the right hand in, and we're going to reach around. We just want to hit into that other hip. So we're going to reach and extend. You can bring the hand in, it'll help you drop the chest closer to the floor. Later on, this will become a pose known as baby grasshopper. But we won't do it this morning. Watch for that in days to come. Drop it down, get the breath moving. 3, and sink. 2, and 1. Now you can come all the way back to center. And we're going to set up for our pigeon pose. We're going to turn, come onto all fours, and now we'll take the right leg forward. So we'll come into a nice forward fold. Right leg comes forward, pop that back foot back. Now if you've got any tension, you can open your left knee out to the left. We'll bring the right heel and align it with the left hip. So you might have your knee to the side, and that will help you sit down. Or if you're at home, you can grab a bolster or a pillow, they're great, and bring it underneath. We'll stretch the toes out. We'll walk up into the fingertips, just for a moment. Feel that length in your belly. And then keep that extension through the back as you walk the hands down. We're going to stretch out. Just breathe and stay with it. Feel the breath just calming now. We've done a lot of energetic work. We've worked into the core and the legs. Maybe one final option here to bring it into a twist. Right hand comes in, just so you can bring the left hand towards right knee and then thread it all the way over to the side. Drop the shoulder down, right hand comes up. I'm going to bring the fingertips around and grab a hold of the big toe. And then drop the head to the floor. Now that might not happen, and that's okay. It's just a variation. It's no better. It's just a choice that can happen or not happen. And the great thing about yoga is there's no need to force. Some days the body says yes, and some days the body says no. We simply show up on the mat, and we listen to the body, and we let it make choices. A calm, consistent practice is what will give us the greatest benefits, rather than forcing the body. Let's be at peace and breath and at ease with whatever happens. Inhale, right hand up. Bring the hand down to the floor, and then we'll slowly lift. Pop that back knee in. Hop, hop, hop. We'll swing the right knee back. Bring it under the left. Swing the left knee forward. Open the foot out to the side and hop back. Hop, hop, hop. Sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. And then we're going to take a twist here in a moment. But not yet. Start upright. Remember, you've got the option to the knee to the side if that's what you need for your body. And then we're going to slowly lower to the earth. And enjoy this. It's a prostration. It's a humbling. It's lovely to just let it go and just put it down. And someone else take the burden off your shoulders and rest with your head just soothed by the coolness and the closeness of the earth. All you need to do is breathe now. The pose will do the rest. And just let the breath flow in and out. And then we'll look up, and then we've got that option if you want to take it, where the right hand comes in and we thread it all the way over to the side. You might want to have the left hand to help you roll down safely onto the right shoulder, right ear. Left hand comes up, we reach around, we grab a hold. Maybe you find big toe, maybe you don't. Maybe you can roll that inner tip of the knee in so you keep those hips drawing back. And again, it's just breath now. You're in the pose. You get to be. You get to observe what happens without the need to think or do. There's such a gift in that. Just let the pose do the work for you. The hand will lift, we'll bring it down to the floor, we'll gently press up, and then we'll turn. I'm just going to take the legs out nice and wide. Open up, scooch your booty out of the way, scooch, scooch, scooch. Come up into fingertips, shake free that head. You can bend the knees if you're worried about yoga tights in the grass. Hands come up behind the head. And just for a moment, let the head fall back and broaden that chest and just free it up. A little bit of circling the elbows in the air. Feels good. As you exhale, just let the chin tuck in, roll and curl the spine. Let the elbows come down to the floor. Begin to play with moving the weight forward. Inhale, use the core to lift you all the way up. So just a different way of doing core work. Lift and curl and round. Elbows touching down to the earth. And then inhale, we'll lift. Oh, good. Morning spine. And exhale, we'll curl and round. Inhale, we'll lift. Bring left hand down. Right hand's going to reach up and over. We're going to keep this flowing though, because we're in an energizing flow. Reach down, try and touch your ankle. As you inhale, let the hand rise up. I'm going to touch behind the right bottom cheek. Just work with the range of motion in your shoulder. Inhale, come up, turn and rotate. So you'll feel that movement through the chest. Inhale. One more. Hand rises with the up breath. And as you exhale, the body softens. And maybe this time you want to find that little bit of turn and twist. It's almost like you're trying to look back to your left shoulder. Feel that work into the hip. And let the hand sink. Let the tension draw out of the elbows and let the face soften. Breath into the belly and breath out of the belly. That's simple. And inhale, wake everything up, walk yourself up. Let's do the other side. So we'll turn, and we're going to reach left hand up, the right hand comes down. So lift and feel that opening. So keep the left sit bone connected. And then we'll turn and twist like we're trying to tap our ankle. Turn, turn, turn. Oh, big side body stretch. Inhale, climbing, rising breath. Heart lifts. Exhale, tap the fingertips down. Just let the shoulders be soft and the gaze be light. Inhale up. And exhale, turn and twist. Inhale up. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale up. Exhale, turn and twist, and then we'll lengthen and we'll stay down and get juicy with this one. Creating that length and that extension. the hands behind. Maybe turn, so you can have the hands in, or you can turn the hands out to the sides, a little bit less strain on the wrists, and just lift your hips up for a moment. Ooh, like a wide-legged forward plank, and then drop them down. You're going to gather the knees in, nice and slow. Gather those knees in. Hug them in. Let yourself rest on the sit bones. Let the chin tuck. Curl into a ball. Left hand, right leg. Can you keep left toes off the floor as you extend the right leg out? Twisted boat. Right hand comes out and it opens, and maybe you just come in line with the shoulder. That might be enough. If you want to, you can take that left leg out so you've got that space, and you can reach the right shoulder back. And playing with the balance of the sit bones, and you're breathing, keeping the face light and easy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it curl everything back in. Give yourself a great big squeeze here. Good morning. Thank you, body, for getting up today. And we'll swap it over. Right hand, left leg. Maybe keep the leg in and just take it out. A little bit easier variation with that heel drawing in. It keeps the core engaged. Maybe left hand just comes to the shoulder. And that might be you today. And that's okay. Or you can take the leg out and turn to the back. As you inhale, that little puppeteer string says, good morning, spine, get long. As you exhale, you're going to draw the breath out of the belly and drop the shoulder down. You're going to balance and play. Just feel your body hovering above the earth. Joy in practice. Three, 2, 1. The legs come in. We're going to curl in. Just bring the feet down. Give yourself a great big squeeze. And we'll lift up. And we're coming down to the floor. Come all the way down. We're going to set up for some bridge pose. So you might want to take a nice slow roll. Nice slow roll down. Hands to the floor. Walk the feet in. Tuck the chin. Keep it long. And we'll take those little rocks and rolls through the pelvis. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. I'm going to ground down. Keep the neck nice and stable here. That neck, particularly if you're on a harder surface, it's really important that we're aware of it. As we inhale, we'll lift the hips up. Work the front of the thighs. Press the earth away from you. Find your palms. The knees walk away. We'll elongate the back. As you exhale, think of lowering the spine in 3 parts. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Just so you're aware of those muscles either side of the spine. As we inhale, it's going to be a flow, a rise. The breath fills the body. The energy lifts the hips to the sky, lengthens out the neck. Keep the feet pressing firmly into the floor though. And the hands, they're the foundation that we move from. And then exhale, drop ribs, middle body, and the hips. One more time. Press the floor away and we'll lift the hips up, pull the knees away, hands to the earth. Maybe inhale, let the fingertips reach above the head. We'll grab hold of opposite shoulders. You can feel okay here. If it's too much on the neck, bring the hands back down. Just stomping to the earth. Hands come up. Bring them down. 3-part lowering of the spine. Lower, middle, all the way down. Beautiful. Arms out to goal post arms, like cactuses. Elbows in line. Take the feet nice and wide here. For a moment, just let the knees knock in and get loose through those muscles you woke up in your spine. And the knees face the sky. We pick left foot up, right foot up. Flex right foot, place it on left knee. And then both the knees fall over to the right as the chin comes to rest next to the left shoulder. We're going to turn and twist. Now let the knees get heavy. The weight of the legs and gravity and encourage the spine to release. You're going to breathe across that full reach of the chest. So work the breath, open up the lungs and feel the cylinder of the chest expand, and then gently let it come back to center. Feel the breath like an accordion, and picture that tight muscles around the rib cage as they open and as they come in, that gentle subsidence, rhythmic flow. Take the knees back to center. Step the right foot down and reposition because those hips might have gone for a little bit of a walk off center. Lift left leg up, flex it, place it on right knee. And then gently let the knees fall over to the side. We'll bring the chin to the right shoulder. And you're going to get heavy. Sink it down. Let the face relax. Breathe. It's one side that's gripping, that's okay. There's no need to force. You're just going to extend it a gentle kindness. Slow breath in and out. Wake up and come back to center. Put the feet down, elongate the spine. Walk the knees into the chest, gather the hands in, and step the feet onto the sky. The fingertips walk up the sides of the legs, knees broaden, drop a tail. Happy baby's pose. Probably should turn around, not the best one on camera. Gentle inversion, just taking the legs out of gravity. You can reach up and grab a hold of the feet, that's great, but you need to keep the head and the tail heavy. If they're lifting, that's not for you today, and that's fine too. You might want to allow a little rock side to side, and feel nice, just massaging the muscles either side of the spinal column, a little rhythmic movement.
Right, I might see you.
Beautiful. The soles of the feet are going to come together to Baddha Konasana. Think of those butterfly feet. Hands come onto the ankles. We're going to circle out the hips. So use the elbows to keep the hips open. Just give a little circle. After all that standing work, those hip openers, you should feel ready for a good release. The other way. Finally, we'll take wind relieving pose. Drop left foot to the floor. Gather right knee in. Maybe that's enough. Elbows, drop the shoulders from the ear. You can keep the left foot on the floor if it helps you keep the balance of the hips and the pelvis. Or you can take left leg out. We'll breathe. Nice free exchange of breath in and out. Next breath, bring the knees in, flip the hands over, left leg comes out. That's right leg. Maybe you have the right leg bent, maybe you need to reposition the hips. You're going to keep the neck nice and long. I'm just turning so you can hear me. Right down. Elbows drop from the ears. coming up and preparing for the most important part of the practice, Shavasana. Shavasana is not about having everything perfect. It doesn't matter if there's noise around or if something brushes against your skin. Shavasana is about a stillness that is in the mind as much as the body. So drop the foot down, just bring both your feet in for a moment. Spend a little moment and just get your spine really balanced on the earth. We're going to use the earth to align the spine. And then if the back is tight, you can have the knees fall in, the feet a little bit wide, let the legs support each other. Or you can come nice and long, stretch the heels out. You want a little bit of space between the heels so the hips can just roll open and be spacious. The hands will come out, you can spread those fingers, you can reposition those shoulders on the earth. And you can let the breath come in. Let it rise, let it fall. And the exhale is where the magic is. And let the exhale drop us to earth. Free the face. About 5 more breaths before we move it all. When you're ready, pose up, begin to walk the feet in. Want to curl into a little ball. Give yourself a squeeze. Thank yourself for coming onto the mat. It's going to become more and more important these days that are coming to make the time and the effort to breathe and to spend this moment just noticing the difference that comes from stepping out for a while, putting down the heaviness, letting yourself breathe and be in the freedom of movement, freedom of the body that brings us out of the head. When you're ready, one hand will come down, we'll gently roll into the side, and we'll press up and we'll take a seat. Bring the feet in. It's always important to spend a little moment and get the sit bones really planted to the earth. Bring the hands into the knees and let the movement of the shoulders just loosen up the back. You just drop down for a moment. One breath, drop that left shoulder. As you inhale, let the head lift back up. Drop the ear to the other side. And one big breath out, drop the other shoulder. You want that nice long slope on each side of the neck. So as you inhale, float the sternum, reach down to the seat. Let the chin floating parallel to the earth and a long column through the spine. Bring hands to heart. Take 3 final breaths. You can join us for an arm if you'd like to. Deep breath in. Let it go. Deep breath in. Let it go. Deep breath in. watching. Most classes will run as usual. We'll release our new online timetable in the next coming days. But stay with us and please keep practicing. It's going to be more important than ever. We'll see you on the mat. And I'll let you know when we're out practicing in nature, just in case you pop along.